precinct committeeman or PC to another, welcome. Whether you're a seasoned party veteran or just became a Republican, there are a lot of us who are very glad you're joining us today.
And these are just a few of many Arizona districts.
Like you and me, every PC has a reason they decided to become more active in their districts.
Maybe you have an issue you feel strongly about.
Maybe you're thinking of running for office.
Maybe you want to become more involved with the neighbors in your community.
The bottom line is, every PC has a reason to become a more active Republican. Did you know that PCs are the only party officials directly elected by the voters? We're also the closest Republican representatives to the voters in each precinct. And with that comes an opportunity and a responsibility.
The opportunity shows itself on Election Day, where we can make a real difference by getting Republican leaders elected to office on all levels. Leaders who believe in less government, lower taxes, and more individual freedom. The conservatives we need in office.
Now, the responsibility comes in volunteering your time and effort to ensure that the Republican Party succeeds.
We'll cover both more in detail in a moment. But first, you want to make sure you know some basic Republican history.
The Republican Party is the party of Abraham Lincoln. It was born in 1854 over the struggle of the slavery issue, and Lincoln was the first to serve as a Republican president. It was on the advice of Lincoln in 1840 that established the direction for the grassroots work from that day to this.
Divide the country into small districts and appoint in each a subcommittee. Make a perfect list of all the voters and ascertain with certainty for whom they will vote. And on Election Day, see that every Whig is brought to the polls.
And as you can imagine, Lincoln's orders for the party then remain the same for the Republican faithful today. Get down to the grassroots and turn out the vote early and on Election Day.
If I were to put our PC responsibilities into three areas, it would be knowledge, organization, and motivation.
First of all, you should know your current office holders, from school board on up. Know the issues going on in your neighborhood and the voters in your precinct.
Candidates will literally be counting on you for expertise, and your neighbors, rightly or wrongly, will view you as an expert on political matters. Now, as far as organization is concerned, there are congressional districts, legislative districts, and wards and precincts of about 1,000 voters each. Now that's where we precinct committeemen come in.
Each precinct is different, so it's vital to have PCs working together to operate more efficiently. Some precincts may be big and hard to cover. Urban areas have challenges of their own. Having knowledgeable neighbors can save you time and trouble. In each precinct, there should be a captain to assume organizational and leadership duties. Depending on the number of PCs and your geography, the precinct should be divided evenly among the PCs, with meetings held regularly for updates, strategy, and record keeping.
There are also district meetings, where candidates, office holders, and community leaders speak. Party leadership and PCs share information and ideas, and you can mingle with Republican neighbors from your community.
But the most serious work of the PC is organizing your precinct. Now, you can get voter lists from your district, or you can get them from county. At times during the election cycle, you can search party records online and print custom walking lists for your precinct.
As Lincoln mentioned, your job is to develop the perfect list of your high-efficacy voters, infrequent voters, new arrivals, and independents. You'll do this by walking your neighborhood to register new voters, and as the election cycle begins, petitioning to get candidates on the ballot.
Get your walking list for the day, pens, voter registration forms, clipboard, candidate literature, and maybe water, hat, and sunscreen. Be sure to dress respectfully and wear comfy shoes. If you're carrying petitions, make sure they're filled out on the back. You can fill out anything for a signer except, of course, their signature.
This is where the motivation begins. It's not easy to get out there and hit the street and knock on doors, especially when it's hot. But as a PC, it's just something we have to do.
When you visit a home, ring the bell or knock, wait 20 seconds, knock again, and be ready to move on. leaving literature if you can. You can even print your own leave-behinds if brochures are scarce.
If they answer, introduce yourself by name and explain you're their precinct committeeman. Now's the time to update your list. You can confirm info or ask if they're registered, but be pleasant no matter how they respond to your visit. Remember, you represent the party to everyone. Never go inside a home or engage in arguments with voters.
Once, I was looking for one voter, but I actually got registrations from him, his wife, and 3 new young Republicans who hadn't yet registered. 17-year-olds can register as long as they'll be 18 before the next election. Also, districts will offer rewards for registration, so always have registration forms with you.
Have the voter fill out and sign the form. Keep the original and leave them the copy. Then get your registrations to county as soon as possible. Remember, the registration cutoff is 29 days before the election. So get out early and make sure you maximize your precinct's voter base.
Some voters will vote by mail, and you no longer need an excuse to do so. Your main task is to clean up that list, register Republicans, and be ready to get out those voters on Election Day. You may even recruit help from some of your more enthusiastic voters. You may also register voters in public places and events like the state fair. You will also need petitions for your own PC election every 2 years, so being familiar with this process is important.
Voters may sign as many petitions as there are openings for an office and still vote for who they choose. So be sure and get signatures early for your candidates.
A good walk can yield 1 or 2 full pages of signatures. Evenings and weekends are the best time to catch people at home.
When election time rolls around, it becomes obvious why PCs are so very important. You'll be asked to put up signs, to walk neighborhoods with candidates, to make phone calls, and to work the polls. By now, your list should be more accurate than the county recorder. Be sure and share it with county leadership.
This is the time to get out the vote when you work your hardest to elect our candidates. You may find yourself helping out other precincts than your own. It's crucial that we all work together at election time. We prepare every polling place and work them on Election Day.
The party will also designate representatives to collect tear sheets from the polls to confirm who has and who has not yet cast their ballot.
That afternoon, you may end up calling some of your voters with a reminder or to offer them a ride to the polls. This is vital election work.
In 1976, Gerald Ford lost to Jimmy Carter by less than 1 vote per precinct. Your precinct could make the difference. And truly, the opportunity and the responsibility to maximize the votes in the precinct comes down to us, the PCs. You may be getting involved as a PC in anticipation for a future run for office. Keep in mind that the best way to run is with support from your district.
To do that, you need to be a PC first. Work through the district for at least 1 election cycle and keep your eyes and ears open. Only then will you have earned the right to ask PCs to walk their precincts for you. Arizona's best candidates were PCs first.
Well, it's an old quote, but very poignant. Now is the time for all good men
And women to come to the aid of their party.
Thanks for joining us today, and welcome to the party. We appreciate all of your time and effort and look forward to working with you as precinct committeemen in the state of Arizona.